Welcome, gentlemen. Hi, Thumos. Come on in, come on in. We're going to have a really amazing day. We're going to be talking, hanging out. Guys, see this crown? By the way, I'm not that great of an artist. I actually just found a Google image and sort of copied it. So I can't take all the credit for this amazing crown. But there's something about being in the presence of a crown, you know? Just like I leave this up in the living room and it just is inspiring me. This is the logo. This right here, this is the logo for the new King Month in the Monk Box program. A lot of you guys don't even know that this exists, but what I'm doing with a bunch of other guys, we're doing a 30-day challenge. And this just came out, but it's called King 30-Day Challenge. I go live and talk to all these men. We usually have about 25 to 50 guys show up, and we talk for a minimum of 1 hour. Sometimes it goes to 3 hours. Sometimes people have to leave because it's getting late. Sometimes people stay and we get deep, man. We talk about the universe. We talk about women. We talk about lifting weights. We talk about everything. Business, making money, this and that, leaving the bird's nest, crazy stuff. And it's been an amazing experience. So this month, the reason it's called King is because what I realized is that this is the energy that us men need. We got to rekindle this kind of energy because most men these days, we don't bring this king energy, man. We don't have this calm, grounded, strong, stoic energy, this frame within our life. And more than ever, that's what we need. You know, we talked recently about being in the belly of a whale, and many of us are in a dark place, a hopeless place, completely demoralized. You know, we don't see a way out of the belly of the whale. It's not enjoyable. And I really, really understand that it's this energy that brings us out. And you can't act like a king. You just can't do it. Like, you can try to act like a king. It'll work for about 5 minutes. But if your lifestyle doesn't align, well, then you don't feel like it mentally. Your body doesn't feel like it. Your emotions don't feel like it. The way you treat people, you don't feel like a king. You don't bring that presence and that demeanor to your life. So it's all about living the lifestyle of a king. That's why this month in the King Challenge, the 30-day challenge, it's us guys come together, becoming kings, holding each other accountable, doing the things that make us wear this crown. You know, feel like we're kings, and that's what it's all about, man. So, guys, get in here. We're gonna close it down. I'm giving away $500. All right, $500. We're gonna have first place, second place, third place, 300, 150, and 50. All right, this is it gets competitive. So don't come in here thinking it's going to be a cakewalk. You know, it gets competitive, man. So, but it's awesome to see the growth. I mean, the amount of guys that are making improvements, changing their physiques, making more money, you know, with their business, with their brands, just like you can just see the transformation. It's amazing. So get in here. All right, you guys got to get in here. I'll personally be able to talk with you closer. You know, we all know each other's names, so it's the way. All right, so get in the King Challenge because you're not going to be able to compete if you don't get in today. All right, we're going to close it down. So with that being said, let's jump in. I got some comments that you guys, some questions that you guys wanted to ask that were all about, you know, just various things that men deal with, that we're dealing with. So let's talk about it. And in the comments here, you know, just go ahead and talk about it with each other and share your ideas because you guys are what makes this community. Right, you got the comments, the uplifting stuff, the positive vibes you bring. You got to keep doing. You got to help each other out, okay? And also, let's have a blessed day. All right, so let's jump in. The first one is from Pocahontas. Kind of an odd name for a male, Pocahontas. But anyway, his question is: I'm lacking social skill and dating skill or experience in mid-20s. Okay, look. You know, there's got to be something said about there's no rush. There's no age where you should have everything perfected. Because first off, you're not going to be perfect. You're just kind of going to go through life and it's going to sharpen you up, right? I didn't have sex until I was like 21 years old. Seriously. And at the time I was like, man, this is not a big deal. Don't really care. And then when I had it, still not a big deal. Nothing really changes. You just stop being so needy. Seriously, you stop caring so much. You just kind of don't realize, or you start to realize that it's not going to fulfill you. Okay, so it's okay if you're lacking social and dating skill. What you really need to do is like practice speaking. That's something you can do. Practice speaking. Get out in front of the camera and practice speaking, because I'm telling you what, I don't believe humans evolved to get in front of a camera and have the camera capture them. So it's intimidating, because then you can see how you were acting in the past, and then you can go back and you can correct the mistakes of the past. You can say, oh, I should have paused. I should have paused more. I should have said less. I should have said less likes. Maybe I should have been a little bit more calm. King energy. Maybe I should have brought more calmness, more groundedness to my speech. And see, that'll actually help you see how other people see you. Because a lot of times what we've been told is we need to go out and we need to like try to be funny and witty. At least we think this. We need to have game. And that's complete bollocks, because you don't need that. You just need to relax and be comfortable in your own skin. And then naturally your brain will pick up on the flow and the vibe in the environment, and you will connect. Usually what is cringe, what is something that makes us disconnect, is trying too hard when we're not getting insights of what is actually happening in our immediate environment, right? So we try to force things. We can't really pick up on the vibe. So when you see stuff that makes you cringe or that seems awkward, is because there's not an allowance for the flow and the natural way of things to happen. Okay, so it's really just slowing down. You don't need game. You know, you're perfect as a man as you are. You just gotta relax. You gotta be comfortable. You gotta say hi to people. You gotta make small talk. You know, as much people don't like small talk, but make the small talk, because that small talk leads to big talk. It leads to big ideas. It leads to bigger and better things happening and forming deep connections with other people. So that's just all things you gotta put yourself out there constantly. And life is gonna sharpen you up like this, you know, just boom, 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 slap you up a little bit. All right. So you gotta be sort of courageous enough. That's what it is. Are you courageous enough to go into the unknown? Okay. And sometimes that takes a willingness to fail. But failure is fine. Failure just means that, you know, you're gonna keep learning. So you may be lacking social skills, dating skills now, and experience, but put yourself out there and amazing things will happen. A lot of times what we end up doing is dating people that we spend a lot of time with. This is also known as the friendship formula, right? When we're in the same proximity as someone, when we spend a lot of the time with someone, when we are a long duration of time with someone, okay, that is more likely to connect us. When we have intense interactions with someone, that's why you notice a lot of people end up dating people inside of their group, right? Their friend circle. Maybe your best friend has a sister. You know, that can get a little weird, especially when you're dating your best friend's sister. I've been lucky enough not ever to do that. But you know, you dating your best friend's cousin, things get a little bit weird when you start, when she cheats on you and stuff. Anyway, that's not gonna happen to us, because we got the insight, man. Anyway, what I'm saying is you're going to be attracted more likely, even if you don't have that immediate attraction, you're going to feel it for people that you're around a lot often. Okay, people at work, people in your circle, people at school, people you see all the time. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't need to happen right away. Attraction isn't always instant. Sometimes attraction is a slow burn. It's like an incense. You know, it builds up over time. All right, guys, it builds up over time. All right, we got to light an incense, man. Take a little incense break. All right, by the way, what I was saying is that if you really want to enhance yourself, you're speaking and getting comfortable, kind of seeing how other people would see you, speak on camera and try to be authentic, try to be real, but be relaxed. Guys, in the program that I do, one of the biggest unseen benefits is actually the guys getting on camera. You don't have to get on camera, of course. A lot of guys choose not to. But a lot of guys get on camera and we actually all speak together. I can see your face. You see my face. And it really, like in the beginning, I was nervous. Like I still kind of get a little nervous, you know? It's kind of intimidating being on camera and having other guys there. It's like, man, this is, where else do you get to do this? But I've seen over the course of a couple of weeks, myself and them included become increasingly confident, because now they're kind of like stepping up to that challenge. And if you can step up to, say, speaking in front of people, a live audience, then it just enhances your confidence like immensely, like crazy immensely. I can't even explain it to you. You will just not be afraid of things that you might have used to be afraid of. And you sort of find your centerness, you find your voice. So that's very, very cool. All right, another benefit. If I'm telling you guys, get in here, get in the King Challenge, give it a month, really commit. If it's not for everyone. If you don't have like the willpower to really commit this month, then don't do it. All right, because it is going to challenge you. We only do this once a year too, so prepare to go in. Anyway, this, by the way, incense stick, highly recommend. A lot of people say, oh, they're not that good for you. Okay, the window's open, and the study was done where they were burning like 20,000 of them in a church, and if you inhale all that smoke, it's not good for you. All right, a couple of incense aren't going to hurt you. If anything, they're going to calm you down. And I use what's called the incense technique. I created this. It's kind of like the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute rest. These things burn for 45 minutes. This one burns for an hour. Okay, so 25 minutes, kind of tell right here. You take a 5-minute rest, and then you go back. What that does is it gives your mind time to recenter and refocus, but then also 25 minutes of crunch time work where you're not distracted. You're actually working. Try that. If you're having trouble studying or need to get stuff done, try the incense technique or try the Pomodoro technique. All right. Next, let's move on here. Okay, so people talked to me about the whole no-fap thing. What's the longest streak? By the way, we don't do that on this channel. We do what's called leap. You limit the ejaculation and the prawn. Because, listen, the no-fap doesn't work counting. He said, like, what's your longest streak? Yeah, that's not going to work, man. Stop counting the days. I stopped counting. After I did about couple months, stop counting. Just stop counting. Because when what you focus on grows, you actually want to make it a part of your lifestyle where it's not even a thing. I don't even do it anymore. I don't even think about it anymore because it's just, you start to realize that it doesn't serve you and then you lose the taste for it. But this is how you got to do it. You use the leap method, and what you do is you begin to become aware. So when you're going in, you get your phone out, you go in incognito mode, right? You're about to get nasty. You just become aware. You're like, all right, I'm aware of this. I'm aware. I'm not going to really judge myself right now. I'm not going to go post on Facebook. I'm not going to make a Reddit post. I'm not going to go and seek help. I'm not going to go to no app. No, you just become aware. Awareness is key. Again, king energy. That's what it is, king energy. That's why the fundamental principle, this month's challenge, is to make you calm, mindful, and present. Okay, king energy comes in and it crushes the obstacles. It makes these things like you stop being a little boy. You stop being like trying to be a little boy, a little prince, stubborn prince, and having all these. King energy is just calm, man. It's calm. It's gonna help you relax, become focused, become aware. And once you use that awareness is curative in itself. That's what Osho said, right? So when you become aware of what you're doing, you lose the taste for it. A lot of times, why we procrastinate, or even why we indulge in things we don't want to indulge in, well, it's because we're trying to run away from something. The same reason we eat cake is the same reason we procrastinate. That's the best way to put it, right? Listen to this. You procrastinate because doing the studying homework is very uncomfortable. You don't want to do it. So what do? You procrastinate. You run from the negative feeling and you go and play video games, or you go on your phone or watch Netflix. Not eating the cake is sort of like, or eating the cake is an excuse to go and do something rather than nothing. But if you could just be aware, embrace all right, I'm kind of craving cake. Yeah, I need to fulfill this craving. Most of us are ready to satiate that craving. So we just go and open up the chocolate chips or the Oreos, whatever it is, the cake. We eat the cake, right? Instead of just relaxing, just being. Awareness is curative, man. It's going to help you be uncomfortable, right? Just be. Because when you can just be, you can just be in uncomfortable situations. You can be in comfortable situations. You can be in awkward situations. It don't matter the situation. You're just being. Just be. That's it, man. Just be. And that's really going to be the best, okay? It's going to teach you a lot about yourself, and that's so important, all right, to know yourself. All right, so let's go on to the next one. We talked about it, but yeah, leap, limit, ejaculation, and prawn. become aware. Don't judge yourself. You'll lose the taste. Stop talking about it. Stop focusing on it. Just that, you don't need that, okay? You need to focus on better and bigger habits that are actually going to make, like, doing something. To do the leap, you just don't do anything. That's it. You just don't do anything. All right, next, let's go on to the fear of approaching someone. Listen, the fear of approaching someone, most times we're afraid, and we actually have to relent against our nature here, right? Because what's happening is the reason we're afraid to approach is because we're afraid of the consequences of getting rejected. If you were to, say, go to and make a fool out of yourself thousands of years ago, right? When we're evolving, I mean, we're pretty evolved 1,000 years ago. Okay, let's just say you're in a tight-knit tribe. If you made a fool out of yourself, you're going to get kicked out of the tribe, buddy. Like, you're getting the boot. No one wants you in there making a fool out of yourself. So you have got to be on guard to know your role, stay in place, don't be too stupid. And, that's a big worry for us these days, that we're going to get rejected, and that means we're going to be cast out. But you don't need to worry about that. You do not need to worry about that. There's not the same consequence now. It's just there's so many people in the world. You can't always be worried about getting cast out of the tribe. So that's one of the things, is not worrying about the consequences of getting rejected. You don't always have to have an answer or to succeed in this thing, man. Just approach. If you see a hot girl, like, it's an alpha male trait to be able to approach that girl and say hi. Now, there's a creepy way to do this, where by like being like trying to be sexual. You don't even know the girl, right? But who's doing that here? None of us, okay? So listen, a lot of guys are going to tell you, I do not believe this. Don't do the dating apps. Just a personal thing for me. I do not do dating apps. Never have. I think it's a shortcut. Don't think you need to do it. For some people, it works great. If you want to do it, go do it. But I think that really you should be able to go out here. You should be able to say, that girl's cute. I'm going to go say hi to her. And that's that. You go say hi. You're a man. She's a woman. You get to know each other. You get the number. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay? You shouldn't be able to go online and shop for other human beings and just like, swipe, and bada bing, bada boom. That's not how it works. So I recommend don't shortcut the system the way nature, because you can't really bypass millions of years of evolution. And it's going to kind of rewire you maybe to not be as happy, okay? You have a little bit of more confidence too when you can grab your nuts and go out there and do it. Another thing is, who's approaching these days, right? The only guys that are approaching are usually drunk guys at a bar. So when you go out here and you approach a girl, you say, hi, I saw you. I just want to come say hi. Hey, I know. You got to kind of be savvy of the situation, right? You kind of got to blend in, feel it out. If it seems a little weird, say, I know this seems a little bit weird, but I just want to come say hi. Nice to meet you. My name's Elijah. What's yours? It's very simple. This is basic. Our mom and dad did it, dude. Our mom and dad did it. You can do it too. And guess what? Girls are just as horny as guys are, if not more. Like, they want it. They just don't show it because of society program. You can't show it. They're horny too, man. They want it too. Just make it happen. Give the permission. Make it happen, because they're not going to take the initiative. A lot of girls are nervous too. A lot of really pretty girls, very nervous because they don't get approached often, right? They don't. They get guys sliding into their DMs, leaving them these corny pickup lines, this and that, just saying hi, boring ass text. And it's like they don't get approached on the side of the street. Guys are too nervous. So when you come along, you're grounded, you got the king energy, you've been getting on camera, you've been talking, doing all your habits, you're feeling good, and you're calm. She's like, man, this guy's a little different. He's a little bit different. He's not like most men. Most men wouldn't even approach. So right there, you're already pre-qualified. Okay, you're not being creepy. There's nothing creepy about it. It's just normal interaction. And so any relationship I've ever been in has always been a cold approach, right? And I'm telling you, what you're going to see is a lot of guys are going to fall into relationships that are in their immediate social circle. And you probably don't want that, because you don't get the best cream of the crop, as they would say. You get the farm girl, just the local town farm girl that has been there for 3 summers, and you just get the leftovers. Everyone else, Lucy's left, she went off to college. There's no new girls passing through, so you just settle down with the horse girl, that takes care of the horses in the ranch. So that's not what you want. You want to have like the pick, right? You see the girl, you go up to her, man. Start grabbing your nuts. You're a man. You're high testosterone. You got king energy. Let's go. Okay, none of that bullshit. All right, next. Rites of Passage. Rites of Passage. This is from Unknown. Listen, guys, part of what we're suffering these days is because we have no rite of passage. We have no older men initiating us into manhood. They used to do this in tribes. They would take like different rituals, different things where they would put the boy through suffering and pain and make him come out and sort of lose his ego, know his place, learn who he is. They used to, some tribes, I remember, they would take a glove, put these fire ants in it, and they would put it over them, and they would let the ants like eat their hands, without going insane. Fortunately, we don't have to do that anymore. But you get what I'm saying? There was a rite of passage. There was, okay, you got to separate from boy to manhood. It even says in the Bible, you have to leave behind your boyish ways. When I was a boy, I acted like a boy. When I became a man, I acted like a man. So there's nothing that really says, okay, boom, separate you from boyhood to manhood. A lot of us are still in that state because we don't challenge ourselves. We don't ever step into the king energy because we never have to challenge ourselves to become kings. We just kind of live at our parents' house. Nothing. We might work out here and there. We kind of eat whatever. We kind of like struggle anxieties approaching girls. Kind of, okay, maybe we'll go to college. But life, man, when you really step up to life and you get excited, you go on these adventures in life, and they're not always fun adventures. Sometimes it's traversing down into the belly of a whale. Sometimes it's going into that deep, dark basement, and you got nothing, You're a boy. But when you come out of that, you're different. You become different. The whale spits you out. You're ready for your purpose. You're ready to go. And that's what it's got to be, man. It's got to be that willingness, and you need that rite of passage, okay? That's what I'm trying to do here on this King Challenge. This is the rite of passage. 30 days. The 30 days is just to challenge yourself, build momentum, be with other men, because who else is doing that in the world? Where else do we have to go? And I look out here, I got no one else to do this. Right? I got no one else. Come on, all these men, come on. No, even when I go to the gym, people got their earphones in. No one's talking to each other. No one's fellowshipping. No one's really, helping each other get stronger. Iron sharpens iron. Where is the other iron, dude? It's like, yeah, you play Call of Duty Warfare, Warzone with the boys, but what about when it's not in the digital, right? What about on the streets? What about out here? So where is it? Where is it online? Like even in the YouTube section, we got all these people complaining. Everyone's bickering, fighting. We need to come together. All right, we need to come together and sharpen each other up. We need to have challenge. We need to have what separates us clearly from being a boy to becoming a man, from becoming a boy, from just a prince to becoming the king. Okay, to becoming the king. That's where the worry goes away. That's where you have support. That's where you feel strength. That's where you have energy and influence and power. All right, so we have to step into that. Let's move on. The next thing, how to maintain flow in life. This is by Mitchell. Listen, this is key. This is key because they say that the more that an individual gets into flow, the more meaningful he perceives his life. Now imagine that. If you don't even have to enjoy what you do on a day, like for work or whatever, but if you could find ways to get into flow, then you will feel like your life is meaningful and rewarding. Now, most of the time, it's very easy to get into flow from video games. Okay, I know this myself. The thing is that video games are a simulated reality. It's a virtual world, right? So the flow doesn't really equal to more meaning in your life. It just, you have a flow experience, which can actually be beneficial, I think. But too much can be a negative because it doesn't actually have a spillover effect in the real world, okay? So some video games, fine. Too much, not good, okay? Because then nothing gets done. But let's think. We want more flow. We want more flow experience. Flow experience also comes on in when we have new insight, when we have new frames of reference. That means you have to be getting insight. You have to be learning more. You have to constantly be getting out of the bubble that you're in, or else you'll feel stuck. Once you pop the bubble, it opens up. You have new insight coming in. You're able to level up your character in real life, right? That's what it is, man. That's what it is. So flow, introduce things that challenge you and that cause you to get new insight, okay? And just keep learning, keep growing. This is, again, you have to be learning. You have to be changing the frame. You don't want to get stuck in what's called an echo chamber, where someone says something that you already believe, it bounces off the boxes or off the walls of the box, and then comes back into you, and you just nod your head like this. Yep, yep, herp, derp, yep. Everyone's just kind of in an echo chamber these days. Yep, and it's boring. That's the thing. It's a boring life, right? So put yourself out there, take risk, continue to learn, new things, and keep going, man. That's how you get in flow. That's how you get in flow, right? And it opens up. It's like it feels like your life becomes an adventure. That's what I get when I get in flow. Of like you can get a flow in your life as life becomes a sense of adventure, but you have to take a risk, and there actually has to be a sort of a consequence, because then what's the point of getting in flow? Flow is like peak focus, um peak performance. That's what it is. But why would you need to perform if there was no competition, if there was no failure that could happen? You wouldn't need, so you actually need some sort of risk, you understand? And you have to constantly like try to upgrade inside of that. So that's flow, man. That's flow. Very important. Makes our lives meaningful. So remember to seek that. Seek things that give you flow in life that are not just in the virtual world. Okay, let's move on. Depersonalization. Depersonalization is a feeling that you are living your life with a sort of looking outside the body feeling, right? A sort of, it feels like a depression and an out of body experience at the same time. The first time that I experienced depersonalization was when I smoked weed, right? And it really, really freaked me out because I felt like after that experience, I was very dark. I was in a dark place. I felt like I lost control. That's what it was. It was like, okay, for so long my ego had been in control, and then all of a sudden I was sucked out. I look at the bigger picture, like holy moly, I don't have control. Now in hindsight, I think that it was a blessing because it's good to realize that you only have so much control, right? It's good for the first time. That can be a sort of rite of passage. So the depersonalization, first off, let's reframe what depersonalization is. It's not a curse. It's a blessing. You want to look at it as a blessing. It's a transition from your ego controlling your life, thinking that you're the man, that you got everything under control, and actually showing you, wait, you don't. You don't have everything. And it's good to see yourself in this light. What most people do is they get stuck here, though. They get stuck. What you need to do is sort of take back control with also letting go. Okay, you have to have a sort of letting go begin to enter into your life, a surrendering to the King of Kings. You have to surrender to the bigger thing, and then you can start to gain control. And now you have this calmness that is at the core, at the epicenter of your life. Okay, you have this calmness that emits, it radiates from here. Okay, and you may not always feel it, but it's there, man. It's there. It's sort of this knowing. And this is just one way. This is the depersonalization. Sort of, it's like a little ego death, right? But then you begin to gain control. A lot of people don't try to gain control. They just they get so scared, it blows out their perception and their mental programs that they just like go and smoke more weed, and then they start enjoying it, and then they got to get high, right? And then they got to do more drugs and get drunk and run from the depression. Don't let that be you. Face the demons. You got to face the demons at first. I remember, man, I would talk to people. I would look at people and I'm like, what the hell am I even saying? Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I thought I was going through psychosis. I'd be at the stoplight. The light's green. I'm like seeing like the colors of a rainbow on the ground. I'm like, am I tripping balls right now? Am I tripping balls? No, but I wasn't. I was just, well, maybe I was a little bit still, but that's depersonalization, man. It messes with you, right? The mind is a fragile thing. That's another reason I don't recommend doing drugs, right? Because you don't want to mess with this thing. This thing's fragile. So be careful with it. We're still trying to understand it. But anyways, embrace it. Try to get back some control, man. And that's how you're going to get that king energy. Get on a routine. You guys have to have routine in life. That's it. You have to have ritual. You have to have routine. You know, you can be a little lackadaisy here and there. But again, if you look at most successful people, they have a routine. They have structure. If you let yourself kind of just fall apart, you lose that structure in your life, man. It doesn't feel good. You start to go to the whims of your desires. You start to do things that you wouldn't normally do, and then it's a cascade. Like the gates open up, right? The floodgates open up, and then you're just stuck in this negative loop. All right. So you want king energy? Get on the routine. Get ritual in your life. All right. Build the right habits. And that's going to help you. Working out, stuff like that, eating nutritious, taking the cold showers, going for walks, getting sunlight, communicating with other human beings. We have a tendency when we go through depression and this depersonalization to sort of lock ourselves in, become introverts, and we are in solitude. In the 48 Laws of Power, got it behind me, it says, Law 18, that isolation is dangerous. You do not want to build fortresses around yourself. How are you going to be a king when you're locking yourself in the kingdom? When you're locking yourself in the castle, the fortress? You can't, because a king's job is to give out blessing, is to give the calmness, the groundedness to his people. He has a big responsibility. If you lock yourself in, man, they're coming to mutiny. They're going to throw down the kingdom. So you got to be able, don't lock yourself in. That's what crazy people do. That's what they do. People in solitude go crazy, right? These people stuck in the hole, they go nuts. Their eyes are looking left and right at the same time. They're going nuts. That's where the madness sets in. Okay, so don't get stuck in your head. You got to get around other people. You got to talk. You got to speak. You got to speak what you're feeling. Seriously. What I realize is you will be more emotionally secure when you can speak about how you feel with other men. Nowadays, who you need other men to speak to. Simple as that. All right? Simple as that. You want to talk to me? Get in here. I'll speak to you, man. Whatever. If I have to tell you the hard truth, we need to brush up on some stuff. Let's go. Let's go. That's the way it's got to be. So let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up with intrusive thoughts. I think that'll be good. Intrusive thoughts. I used to not know what these were, intrusive thoughts, but intrusive thoughts come along, and they're just thoughts that you can't really control. They're thoughts that maybe bring you shame. All right, man. You can have perverted thoughts. You can have thoughts of murder. You can have the weirdest thoughts you ever had. Dude, when I was younger, I used to think when I went to church, and I'm not even embarrassed. I would have been embarrassed years ago to tell you this. When I was I was in the stands of my church, I would think about the pastor butt-ass naked. I would think about the guy playing the drums and the banjo. I would think about him just butt-ass naked. I'm like, why am I thinking this? I'm not gay. I'm not gay at all. But I would just have perverse thoughts. I would think about everyone dancing just naked, really primitive, just animalistic thoughts, man. And I thought that I was just, I thought I was cracked. I thought I was cooked in the head, And for a long time, I think that can eat away at you. And you can start to think weird stuff like, oh, why am I like this? Dude, just laugh it off. Thoughts are thoughts. You are not your thoughts, right? Thoughts are just, they're there. As a kid, you think of everything, man. Think of everything. You kind of just you have a big imagination. You think about everything. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's really weird, right? Really weird thoughts. But you are not your thoughts. You let them come in. You let them go out. You don't attach yourself to them. Your thoughts do not give you your identity. You need to know this. You are not your thoughts. So you gotta be aware. They call them intrusive thoughts because they intrude. They intrude the peace of mind. They intrude the king. I realize as you get older and you stop caring, you take on the king energy. You just relax. The things don't bother you. You don't hold so closely. Your identity isn't in a constant state of threat. Right? You're not losing your identity. If you act weird here and there, if you embarrass yourself, whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Right? I've taken up the crown. I have responsibility. I don't look to me. I look to something greater. I surrender. I have this presence in my life. Right? You don't always got to be in control. So intrusive thoughts, do not hold too tightly. Let them go, guys. Let them go. You're not weirdos. You're not, you're just going to think maybe it's weird thoughts. Maybe it's, again, hurting someone, bad stuff going on. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Breathe in and let it go. Breathe in and let it go. That's it, man. Just be. You got to just be in these times, okay? And, yeah, man, just I think that we have to be more centered. We got to be real with ourselves. We got to let go a little bit more, all right? So that's it, guys. This was a great talk. I really hope you enjoyed this. The King Challenge. We're closing up in a couple days. I want you guys to compete for this $500. Or I would be so excited if I put your name there. You do all the missions. You know, you inspire the group. You're there. Like, come on, dude, get in here. All right, we need you to get in here. So it's going to be a great month. Come join the King Challenge. I will personally talk to you. I want to meet you. You know, we'll talk. We'll answer some questions. We'll work it out. You'll leave inspired, and it's going to be such a good month. Okay, I hope to see you in there. You don't want to just wait around floating from day to day. You know, that's how you lose hope, man. You lose hope. Again, you got to get some sort of control. But I know a lot of people are just in the limbo right now. They're in that limbo state. We got to fight back. We got to go against it. Okay, we got to go against it. It's time to take up the crown. Get in the group. You guys can click the link down below. All right, check it out. And I hope to see you in there. We'll talk soon. Hope you enjoyed this talk. Peace.